Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I don't know what that was. Welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing fantastic and that you're all having an absolutely incredible day, morning, afternoon, and or evening. Get ready for a very weird video. For some reason, the weekends are always very odd and the news that's thrown out there is always... Anyway, without further ado, let's jump right into it. For those of you who are not looking at the screen, it says Bitcoin's price is ready for a new leg up as Ethereum flashes a perfect price pattern. This was said by a popular analyst. We are currently at the point, once again, in a new cycle, at least over the course of this week, if I can be completely honest, where people almost have no idea what's about to happen. And that's because, to be fair, there are far too many things happening at the exact same time. Nearly all of the price news is basically 50-50 at this point. So you talk about Ethereum flashing a perfect price pattern, and at the same exact time, a huge amount of the news was also talking about that there's a death cross for Bitcoin, and that Bitcoin doesn't look too hot, and Ethereum might be going down at the same exact time. Then you got people talking about that Bitcoin's price might be going back up. Bitcoin and Ethereum's price prediction: can Bitcoin and Ethereum bounce off? With a 38.2% Fibonacci retracement. And I try to make this as clear as humanly possible every single time. No one explicitly knows where any of these things are going. The best indication that we have, us collectively, as to where Bitcoin and Ethereum's price and the wider cryptocurrency market prices are going to go, tends to 99 out of 99 times usually end up being the stock market. It says Ethereum's price is primed for an upshoot as staked Ethereum hits a new milestone. Yes, in anticipation of the upgrade that we've been hearing about every week or so for a while, that's supposed to be happening sometime in March. More people are putting their Ether into the Ethereum staking contract, waiting for Shanghai to actually activate so that they can take their money out. That's basically what it comes down to. There's a lot of attention floating around Ethereum. I've noticed myself, I am not an analyst. I do not claim to be one. Looking at the charts, I've noticed some very weird movement that we've seen before years ago, where there is anticipation that something big is going to happen for one of the major coins, and the price of said coin continues to be pushed lower as we get closer to the actual update. I think it usually happens from whales who are trying to accumulate at a lower price, and they simply did not do so months before, so now they're trying to do it now. Because normally, you would assume that any major upgrade that we would be having for any coin, whether that be Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, I don't care what it is, that we'd be seeing an uptick in price. However, Ethereum's price has been pushed down even more than other coins the last couple of days or so as we get closer to this upgrade. Pantera Capital has said we are in the next bull market cycle. Very psychic of them, because I told you all that a while ago. I noticed the amount of, here are the indications for those of you who missed that video. I get it if you missed the video. I'm a little disappointed in you that you would not watch all my videos, but it's fine. We're still friends. Usually the indications for me are the amount of bots that arrive in the comment section on this channel or any cryptocurrency channel. You've seen them before. They start advertising really weird coins like 43x121112 being like, it's the best coin ever. I see it all the time. I can't get rid of all the bots. I do not control them. People were asking me years ago, can you do something about the bots? I can't. Like they're robots. There's like millions of, I can't. Anyway, the other part is the amount of people talking about cryptocurrency on Twitter or social media platforms also begins to tick up. One of the other really huge metrics is people who kind of left, air quotes, the crypto market about 4 to 6 months ago. They were in the crypto market. They may even be crypto investors. They got kind of tired or bored with it. They left the market, and now they're messaging me and probably you once again as to where they should be putting their money in the market. And also another big indicator for those of you who missed it a couple of days ago is the NFT market is making records again. People are pushing tons of money back into the market. NFTs are selling for millions of dollars once again. There was some kind of a free NFT mint. They happen quite often, and they're kind of difficult to put your finger on, if you want to put it that way. Because sometimes a lot of them end up being scams, so do watch out for them. They end up being phishing attacks where they want you to link your wallet to them to get a free NFT, and then they end up just kind of robbing you. Or other times, like we've seen, they actually do pretty well, but, they're kind of hard to discern. Anyway, we're at the point where everyone's talking about good things are going to be happening, but then also bad things are happening at the exact same time. Bitcoin looks like it's going to be hitting a brand new all-time high, and Ethereum looks like it's about to slip on a banana peel and lose the coins out of its pocket. I don't know what people are saying, but it seems to be relatively adjacent to everything that's actually going on. This is going to be a gigantic week, not a small week, not a significant week. This is going to be probably one of the more significant weeks that we've had over the last 6 or 7 months. It says the impending week is expected to be extremely crucial for all markets. Every single one of them, because for some reason about 19 things are happening over the next 14 days. As retail sales data and PPI and the jobless claims data on Wednesday and Thursday will be following inflation data on Tuesday. Right. Moreover, a significant portion of the S&P 500 companies, nearly 10% of them, are going to be reporting their earnings. So hear me out here. This is going to be a major week. We are going to be hearing if inflation has actually been going down based off of what the Federal Reserve has been doing. I know we hear about this often. Why is this one more significant? Because the Fed is expected to stop raising interest rates entirely in about a good 3.5 to 4 weeks. They mentioned it before. They did a 0.25% interest rate. They said they may do it again. They will do it again in March. But now we've gotten to the point where people from the Fed have come forward and they said, we don't know if we need more of these because it looks like inflation might not be going where we want it to go. So if their lackluster movement of interest rates hasn't worked out and inflation is still at the exact same numbers that it was at the beginning of January or the end of December, we might be in trouble. We also have a whole bunch of jobless claims data, which we've also been paying attention to, especially sometime last year. The idea is that as inflation has gotten worse, people have lost their jobs, and people looking for jobs and or jobless claims looking to get benefits or whatever you might call it in whatever country you live in has also gone up. As we saw inflation numbers falling, the amount of jobless claims began to fall as well, as allegedly people were somehow finding jobs in some sort of way. The other portion is we are looking to see, yeah, I told you it's a lot. We're also looking to see if major companies, have been doing better since the Federal Reserve has been raising interest rates and inflation has been falling. And that's all happening this week. And also there's expected to be, I believe, a Fed discussion sometime next week as well. Yes, there's a lot happening. So stock futures have fallen. It says as Wall Street tries to rebound from a rocky week. It's been all over the place because we got indications last Friday that the Fed was like, hey, what's going on? We might have to raise interest rates once again. I would read through the article. It's not really necessary. It basically comes down to a lot of the excitement that the world was having about the interest rate rises stopping. It hasn't dissipated as more people are giving it the side eye now, trying to figure out if our optimism was well warranted based off of the words that the Federal Reserve gave us. So over the course of this week, things will probably be all over the place. This is why you are seeing the price news talking about things are going up, things are going down, all new all-time highs. Oh no, Bitcoin has a death cross. We'll see where this leads us. We have no choice. Time will move forward with or without us. Yeah, that's all the price news that we have right now. Stock futures are down. When the stock market opens, it'll probably also be in red. This is why currently the cryptocurrency market is also in red as well. It is a big time. We are looking to see what's going on. Anyway, yeah. Let's move on. In a fraction of what is part of the most popular news story of the day, it says SEC Commissioner Hester Pierce says the SEC is hostile to crypto. I would have never, ever guessed that. For those of you who missed the news just a couple of days ago, basically, there was a gigantic market panic in the cryptocurrency space because people were incorrectly reporting what happened. There were news or indications that the SEC had banned cryptocurrency staking within the United States. If you watched my video that was titled "Watch This Video," it was there for a reason. It was to kind of ease confusion because a lot of people were losing their minds on social media, not really knowing what's happening, and I couldn't message 900 people on different threads on Twitter. Basically, what happened is that the SEC claims that the cryptocurrency exchange Kraken within the United States was not giving valid information to their consumers, in that Kraken was offering something through an earn/staking program where they said if you stake your coins with us, you will earn X amount of money. However, the SEC said that Kraken was not explicit enough in saying what happened with the coins, i.e., are they going into a staking contract? Are they staying on the Kraken platform? Are they being used as collateral for something else? And therefore, the SEC fined Kraken $30 million US, and in doing so, Kraken was told to or did it by themselvesly. They stopped their own staking platform just within the United States. However, this was rushed out as news that the SEC has stopped all crypto staking for everyone inside of the United States. And some people also thought it was happening around the world as well, which also didn't make a lot of gosh darn sense. So the only person who I believe has a heart within the SEC, her name is Hester Pierce. She's very popular. I don't know why she works for the SEC, and she always comes out in opposition of the SEC, but bless her little heart. She basically announced that she believes that what the SEC did to Kraken and is doing to the wider cryptocurrency industry is absolutely wrong. She doesn't agree with it. She thinks it needs to stop. And this is why I'm like, why are you still working for the devil? But, you know, everyone has their own reasons and or motives. So this was quite popular news, as it was about a day or two ago, where she said something similar to it as well. She doesn't think that the SEC should be ruling by force. They should be ruling by regulation, because the entire problem with the SEC is that they don't tell you when you're doing something wrong. They tell you after you have allegedly already done something wrong years ago, and then they get you in trouble for it. On top of that as well, it says Gary Gensler on why the SEC forced Kraken to shut down its staking services in the United States. They're power-hungry, corrupt fools. I don't know if I sound revolutionary or raising my fist and fight the power. No, these people know that they're criminals. You, as a human being, you inherently, and even more so from your life on Earth, especially if you've been here for longer than 20, and I'll extend it to a good 30 years. You inherently know, and I air quote here, what is right and what is wrong, just based off of societal values or what we have learned that people may have a knee-jerk reaction to. If you have a child and you see that they're doing something wrong, do you A, tell them in that moment, hey, you are doing something wrong. You may not know that you're doing something wrong because you are a baby, but let me instruct you and tell you that what you are doing is wrong. Or do you wait 4.5 years until that child is older and then you pat them on the hand and say, hey, remember what you did when you were a baby? That was wrong. Which one of those two is correct? Right. So the problem with the SEC is that continuously, this isn't the first time. I do daily news. We've seen this over and over. They wait years until they see that something is wrong and that U.S. consumers are in no way protected, or maybe subject to a scam or a security or an unregistered security, and then they tell people years later that X company might have been doing something wrong under their watch, as opposed to telling the company that they did something wrong in that moment. I'm not sure how Gary Gensler still has a job, and I mean that explicitly. We would live in a completely different world if the people who were meant to police and or regulate the world actually did their job properly. Imagine how many people would not mind the SEC if they simply did it immediately. If they told Coinbase and Kraken and Ripple and the other 16 companies who they've gotten rid of over the last couple of years, they've bankrupted multiple cryptocurrency companies because they said, you've been doing something for 3 years, we don't like it, and they end up charging them a 30, 40, $50 million fee, and these companies are like, that's all the money that we have, and they go, well, you should have been following the rules. We didn't know that there were rules. Well, you should have been following them. You didn't tell us there were rules. Well, listen, buddy, you should have been following the rules. So this is, and I don't throw the word tyrannical around it's a word I rarely use. However, what they're doing is so oddly, egregiously tyrannical that I'm not certain why someone actually hasn't stepped in besides Hester Pierce to be like, hey, something is wrong here. When you hear that every single company who deals with the SEC doesn't like them, that's a gigantic red flag. When we ourselves get indications or actually explicit news as to what the SEC is doing on a daily basis, because they're always in the news, that presents a red flag. Normally, people who aren't into finance or aren't into traditional finance, if you will, we may see or hear that things aren't going correctly, but we kind of just don't really get it or understand. But when we explicitly understand that what the SEC is doing is wrong, that's also a gigantic problem. This apparently had been going on for years, the news that we saw, years. Why not tell Kraken in 2019 or 2020? I'll even give them a good 2021. Why tell them in 2023? Why force them to shut down their service? There's also some other really interesting news here as well. But yeah, so this is, of course, major news. A lot of people are not excited. But the problem is that this is only going to continue. We allow these people to continue to hold these positions in office, to throw their weight around, to do what they want. The SEC is desperate in some sort of way to remain relevant. Years ago, the entire idea of a security being anything within the cryptocurrency space was absolutely nonsensical. This was major news around 2017, 2018. This is when the SEC forced their way into the cryptocurrency space by stating that things that were going on within crypto, they believed that they should be looking over, which is also nonsense. You can't look over something like these things are not securities. I don't know how much more clear I have to make that. The SEC is running off of rules that were made back in 1927. That's not a fake date. It is 1927 when the securities laws in the United States began. And they're trying to oversee the cryptocurrency industry with things that the first securities laws within the United States had to do with oranges. It had to do with an orange grove. I want you to keep that in mind. It was before everyone in the United States had a telephone, before they even had a computer, before they had a mobile phone, before the internet existed, before we had Wi-Fi. To think that they would have any authority to be, it's just absolute nonsense. And I think, as far as I've been reading online, I think Gary Gensler's term as head of the SEC is going to end at the end of this year. But then there's only going to be another monster who takes his place. Don't assume that the next person is going to be friendlier. They all work for the same corporation and the same exact company. On top of that, Brian Armstrong, who is the CEO of Coinbase, has come out rabidly screaming in the streets that what Coinbase is doing, that they are not selling securities either, which is what Kraken has been accused of, because I believe Coinbase is, I think, the largest staker on the planet. Part of the problem there lies in the fact that I don't remember exactly what it is. It's something very stupid and something that you would never think of. And I assume that Brian Armstrong has been screaming so loudly because the SEC has probably sent them a note with a raven or something like that, telling them that they also might be in trouble. Apparently, from what I've read, all that has to be done is that you have to just simply be as explicit as possible in telling people where their coins are going to be going and or what they're going to be used for. And then you're kind of at least relatively in the clear. But this guy has been, Brian Armstrong over the weekend, I think he was going through it because his tweets were a little intense. On top of that as well, following Nexo's settlement with the US SEC and the North American Securities Administration Association, it's NASA with an extra A, the lending company planned to stop its earned interest product for its U.S. customers. The leading lending company Nexo announced on the 10th of February blog that it had decided to stop its earned interest product service to U.S. customers starting on the 1st of April. Furthermore, Nexo did not admit or even refuse the SEC's charges because you can't. These are huge companies, but you have to understand that you probably are terrified in that moment because you think that you've done something egregiously wrong. They tell you to pay a huge amount of money and you're like, okay, well, fine, I'll pay it, not realizing what they're actually asking you to do. Also, the lending company pointed out that its recent commitment does not affect the company's other services. So for those of you who are using Nexo, that is Nexo, within the United States of, I was going to spell out America, but that's way too long. Apparently, Nexo is ending their interest earned service product, which I guess was supposedly supposed to be something similar to what Kraken was doing and was probably seen as a security from the SEC. So allegedly, from what I've also seen, as far as we know right now, the SEC does not consider certain coins to be securities from whatever, but it's the products that the cryptocurrency exchange companies are offering to clients that may be deemed securities. Right. So that's where we currently are right now. So if you're using Nexo, I would send them a message, ask them, are your funds safe, or what do you have to do if you have anything staked with them, or if you are earning in some sort of way. Apparently everything else on their platform, same with Kraken, is still up and running, except for the service if you are in the United States. Also on that, the CEO of Kraken says he feels dumb for paying the fine to the SEC. It's somewhere around here. He wrote, "Oh man, all I had to do was fill out a form on a website and tell people that staking rewards come from staking. I wish I'd seen this video before paying $30 million and agreeing to permanently shut down the U.S. service." So I think a huge portion of it was actually, it's always the same. Years ago, remember when Binance was like, for those of you who forgot, Binance used to be the worst thing that we had on this planet. There was nothing worse than Binance. I remember all the comments that Binance is terrible. Why are you using Binance? Binance is unregulated. All these regulators around the world stepped in, said Binance was in trouble. All they had to do was fill out paperwork. You understand how Binance is now shaking, Changpeng Zhao is now shaking hands with kings and queens and dictators and other people and stuff like that. So apparently, it came down to paperwork. This is from what I'm reading and I'm seeing online. They apparently had to fill out tons of forms and register with the US SEC, the gods of America. And also, once again, the SEC claimed the reason why they went after Kraken is because the people from Kraken allegedly did not explicitly state where the staked coins were going. This is why, remember, was it Thailand? I don't remember. It's some country in Southeast Asia. Their SEC, listen to this one. Their SEC about a month ago actually made an area on their website that says if you want to get into crypto, please click here. And when you clicked on it, you were given basically information as to everything that's going on within the cryptocurrency space. They explained what a commodity was, what a security was, what staking was, what blockchain was, a central bank digital currency, what decentralization actually meant. And then I think they gave you like a little test to see if you knew what was going on, because can you guess why they did this? It wasn't regulation by force. It was they want their citizens to actually learn what cryptocurrencies are should they decide to get into them and invest in them. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if in 2017, the United States Securities and Exchange Commission had made a portion of their website that you could go to so that you could learn about cryptocurrencies and cryptocurrency products that may be deemed securities, so that you had a better understanding of crypto before you got into it? Of course you can't believe that. Why is it that it's so easy for other countries to actually help their citizens? I sincerely do not understand. So the CEO of Kraken has been quite vocal in the last couple of days. He's a little annoyed at everything that's been going. Apparently, Kraken will never, ever be able to offer this service again within the United States. I would not 0% be surprised if there was a briefcase of money that had moved across the table during all of this. And I don't mean Kraken. I mean, I find it very weird that Kraken was the only one who kind of got in trouble here. Remember what I always say. FTX was not the only crypto exchange that they did. But I guess maybe the people from Kraken were not into corruption as much as other companies might have been. So that's also prominently in the news. Also in the news, Charles Hoskinson stated that he is not big on Ethereum staking. Here's why. I'll give you like one reason to guess why. It's so simple. You'll probably get it yourself. So over the last couple of days, as you might have seen and just heard, with the US SEC cracking down on staking from Kraken, a lot of people believed that this initially had to do something with Ethereum. That was one of the theories that was also rolling around. A lot of people were talking about this definitely has to do with Ethereum. They're going to crack down on Ethereum. That's why we saw Ethereum's price dipping further than other coins, because people were lying, probably trying to get the price to go down. Charles Hoskinson is a very vocal individual. And as such, he fights with people daily on the interwebs. I'm not sure why. I think it's just his thing. I haven't really figured it out. However, one of the new fights that he decided to start before finishing the other ones was announcing that he personally believes that Ethereum staking is definitely a security. I have my own theories as to why he would say that. I assume it has to do with hear me out here. I assume it has to do with the level of frustration that Charles Hoskinson might have because Cardano is not bigger than Ethereum. I know someone just sucked their teeth. I don't know how to help you. Years ago, it was predicted that by now, especially by now, Cardano would have been bigger than Ethereum. The news projections that we got, especially over the weekend from JP Morgan Chase and other banks, they believe that at some point over the next month or two, or even the course of this year, doesn't really matter, that the amount of Ether that's being staked is going to go from, I think it's, 7% right now, will roughly go between 60 to 80% of all Ether locked into the network. As people want to join the biggest blockchain, they're buying more Ether and they want to stake passive income, what have you. A lot of what Charles Hoskinson has been doing, at least over the years, from my perspective, has just been like generalized frustration from him screaming out stuff as to what he thinks should be happening or should not be happening. And anyway, so I think it's very brave of him to try to think that the most, or one of the most, and I dare say second, because we do know that Bitcoin has more nodes than Ether, the second most decentralized chain on the planet, that their staking feature he thinks would be considered a security and or risky or needs to be looked into by the SEC. but he for some reason believes that the SEC would then not immediately go after Cardano is probably the most hilarious part to me. It's kind of the phrase, don't throw crypto in glass houses or something like that. It's kind of this. A lot of people over the years have made sure to be quite vocal because I think that they think that coins that are not theirs can be deemed a security and or gone after by regulators, not realizing that the regulators are looking at every single coin. So this was quite big news. I think maybe just from people within the Cardano community. I don't know. You have to understand. The cryptocurrency space is called the cryptocurrency space because we are all in the same space. It is not called the Bitcoin space. It is not called the Ethereum space. It is not called the XRP space. It's called the crypto community and the crypto space because we are one gigantic community that's trying to thrive together. If you keep throwing each other under the bus, none of us are going to make it anywhere. It is as clear as day. Everyone in crypto is so adamant about talking negatively, and I'm glad that a lot of the other negative talking coins have been washed away. I'm looking at you, Stellar Lumens and Bitcoin Cash and BSV, and I dare even say Tron as well, and a couple of other coins. Because you don't understand that, like I said before, with XRP and Ripple, if XRP is deemed a security, the entire space goes down with it. The entirety of the space, except for probably Bitcoin. Other people are so quick constantly to tell other people how crappy or trashy or horrible another coin is because of X, Y, and Z, not realizing if you look into the metrics, your coin does the exact same thing. If the SEC has a problem with Ethereum staking, buddy boy, Cardano is next on the list. So anyway, this was major news. Charles Hoskinson was saying he doesn't like Ethereum staking. It has a lot of faults and he doesn't. Do you think the SEC cares what Charles Hoskinson has to say and that they'll simply go, whoa, 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 whoa. I watched a YouTube video, Mr. Gary Gensler, and Charles Hoskinson was talking about we shouldn't go after Cardano because they're more decentralized. Okay, yeah, okay, cool. We just won't touch Cardano. Do you think that's how it works? No. Anyway, that's the Cardano news because Charles Hoskinson is in the news every single day news. Yeah. Let's move on. And also in the most wonderful thing that we've ever heard of in our entire lives. Over the weekend, the price of Dogecoin went up by, I think, 5.4%. If you're not looking at the screen, I'll give you one hint as to why Dogecoin actually went up in price. Yep, you guessed it. Elon Musk, he burped loudly. It sounded like Dogecoin, and everyone went completely crazy. Apparently, the weekend had Super Bowl LVX1Y L121, and Elon Musk was wearing a shirt of a Doge, I believe wearing a hat. Oh, it was correct. Wearing sunglasses and a cowboy hat. And apparently everybody lost their minds and Dogecoin's price went up. Yep. You thought I was joking. I told you the news was going to be ridiculous today. I think it's just, coming out of the weekend, we always have to deal with stuff like this, so we don't really have much of a choice. Anyway, that's Dogecoin's price went up over the weekend because Elon Musk wore a t-shirt. T-shirt. Yeah? What? That's crazy. Elon Musk, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. The things this man won't do for Dogecoin. All right. Can you imagine if it was that easy? If people just had to wear like a Bitcoin shirt and then Bitcoin's price went up? What a world we would live in. All right. Let's move on. Yeah. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters, Martin Stroyer, Bodie McBoatface, Sam Ratter, Dotha Diddy, Mandy Cryptos, Crypto Gambino, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain, Jamie Saad, and let's move on, Empire Queen, Roman Gaba, Bitcoin Ben Arachno, Dave the Dealer's in, Captain Something in the Z, Way Lay, Mo Barazi, VB Nerd 21, Lauren De Silva, Quoted Biddy, Troy Allgood, Space Case, Need a Miracle, Paternoster, Navarro Williams, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Animal, Rita, Bibliophobia, Adam Graysick, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Cole D3D, Setsuna, Paxis, Jim Gardner, Jemmy Fox, Minting Coins, Yes to Crypto, Anytime Fitness, Monk's Corner Staff, Bake Me a Cake, Tigger, Machonisa, and on Crypto with Lionel. Thank you all very, very much for your support. Thank you to everyone who is a member of the channel. Thank you to everyone who left a like, a comment, or has subscribed at the moment. Bitcoin is down by 1.34%. It is at 21,562. Ethereum is down by 3.2. It is at 1,492 US dollars. Binance coin is down by 5. XRP is down by 4. Cardano is down by 4. Dogecoin is, there we go. That's the Elon Musk t-shirt right there. And it goes wee and is down by 3.6%. Polygon is down by 8. That's weird. Polygon is, anyway, anything else going on? Anything else crazy? Avalanche is avalanching. What? Finally, the first time it's down by 5%. Avalanche never avalanches. Chainlink is down by 6. Ethereum Classic is down by 5. Anything else crazy? Near Protocol is down by 8. Aptos is down by 8. Hedera Bar, Hashgraph, Bargraph is down by 15. And the Graph is down by 10% as well. We'll see what happens. Luna Classic, for those of you who care, is also in the top 50 now. I'm not sure how that happened, but wasn't his coin like number 800, or am I going crazy? I'm probably going crazy. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, commenting, subscribing, and or supporting, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.